Hi guys, welcome back to Honest Straightforward Reviews. Today I am excited to bring to you guys a VS video where I'll be comparing the second generation Apple AirPods 2 with the USB-C charger against the brand new released Bose QuietComfort Ultra earbuds. Now these are both companies' top of the range in-ear headphones. So let's have a look at them. I'll be first of all doing the unboxing look. So by the way, if you want to see the proper unboxing where I have it sealed and I unbox it, it's in the channel on the top right hand corner. I'll try and link it. If it's not there, please do go through my videos, it'll be there. Now, after the box comparison, I'll do a physical comparison of both. I'll talk about the charging, I'll talk about the battery life, I'll talk about the noise cancellation, some of the things that annoy me, some of the things that I really like, and I'll talk about the sound towards the end and my recommendation as well. Now without further ado, let's get this started. Looking at both the boxes, if you guys are new to the channel, I like a minimalistic look. I know exactly what I've purchased, especially if it's going to cost me upwards of $400. Okay, so I know what I've purchased. I don't need you to tell me all this stuff. But having said that, I like the splash of color, a bit too much information for my taste. As I said, I like a minimalistic look. I like it on this side, you know, but yeah, a bit too much information on the Bose side. Now let's look at the Apple one. So opening the Apple one, you're greeted by the little booklet, warranty and all this stuff. Get rid of this Apple, nobody wants it. We know how to turn it on. Most people know how to do it. Most people know how to find stuff here. If you really want to save the environment, get rid of these. You're doing the plastic ones again. What am I going to do with this? How am I going to use this again? I'm not going to use it, so it's getting wasted. So all of this stuff. So this is nice and recyclable. The cable is braided now, which is nice to see. It will be a bit more durable. You've got a lot more sizes in here. So you've got extra small, large, and the medium ones are on there right now that I'm testing. So those are the good things you see in here and some of the bad. So looking at Bose, again, no plastic. So they've taken plastic out. You just had one tear spot, where this has double. You got to tear two parts out, one out, and then you just slide it very easily, very comfortably. Bose, if you want to save the planet, don't have this. You know, this is just, but I like the design of it, you know, like if we had no worries about the environment, this is nice, this little door thing. This is great paper, you know, very cheap paper you can chuck away. And what I would have liked is take something out of Sony's book and have some recycled stuff here, okay? This feels a bit thin, so this is nice to see. So make it out of recycled. Nobody really cares about boxes. We care about the environment a bit more these days. So this is nice. This is recyclable. What do we get inside? We get the paperwork right down the bottom, really thick, a lot of paper being wasted. Don't need it, don't include it. Check it online if you have to. Looking at this, you get a USB-A to USB-C charging, which is a bit redundant. USB-C to USB-C is the way. And what you get in here is you get the small, medium, large, and you get a small, medium, large 1, 2, 3 in the sense of the fin. So this has a fin to it as well. If you haven't seen my unboxing, you can have a look at my unboxing and you can actually suss out what's going on there. Just pulls out like that, opens up like this. You've got the fins there, you've got the right 2 and right and left 3, and you've got the small and large. So it doesn't have a extra small in here. So some people might have an issue with that if they've got really small ear canals. So they might have an issue with this fitting them properly. So that's one thing to take into consideration. Now let's get this mess out of the way. Okay, so straight off, you've got a very massive footprint difference, okay? Immediately, what you can see is the difference between the sizes in these two. Okay, so the Bose, not only is it thicker, quite a bit thicker, it's taller, it's about the same width, okay, but it takes a lot more space and it is heavier as well. And for that, what you get is when you're using both of them, I saw this is real world use. If you want to see how much they're claiming, you can go see it on the website, but this is a review between these two. So I wanted to give you guys real world numbers, where here you get 6 hours of use. This gives you about 5.5 hours. So there's a half an hour difference between these two in one sitting. So I had to kill myself after sitting 6 hours and using these. So nobody is going to really use these for 6 hours straight. There'll be some people who might, but most people won't. So they're more than enough for that. So both of them, they do a great job. The charging is great, fast charging for both of them. Okay, they open up the same way. Okay, although the Apple one, I feel like is a bit better when it comes to opening and closing. The Bose one just feels a bit flimsy to me, but the Apple one is just crisp, sharp, and it just works. Okay, now let's look at the earbuds for both of them. Now look at them. I personally feel like the Bose one feel a lot better in your ear because of this stuff, because of the fin. It's got this fin that not only does it rely in being in your ear, but it also relies on this fin to lean up against your outer ear to stop it from falling out. So that does make it a tiny bit more comfortable. It's one of the most comfortable headphones I've tried, where I haven't felt the need for it to be shoved right into my ear just for it not to fall out. Okay, I can just place it outside my ears and not worry about them falling out. These have not fell out once. The other thing that you'll notice is it doesn't have this protruding bit coming out. I know there used to be a lot of jokes about them protruding quite a bit, but they've shortened them. Still, it just feels a bit different, you know. It's just yeah, too pointy for me, you know. This is a bit shorter as well. Can you look at that? It's a bit shorter. Now they've got mics and everything here. Now regarding the quality of the silicone, they're basically about the same. I would say the Apple one is a tiny bit softer. That's just my personal opinion. But having said that, the Apple ones are quite comfortable as well. The Bose one just take it up a notch. Now, the other thing that you guys would consider is pressure sensitive tips. Also touch sensitive, so you can increase and decrease the volume through here as well. And pressure sensitive, so reject call, answer call, and all that stuff. Call up Siri, noise cancellation. This is more tapping, okay? Tapping and swiping, which the swiping feels very correct. So good. This is the space you've got. This little bit is the space you've got to increase and decrease the volume without getting this misplaced out of your ear, because it's just holding by this. Whereas with this, it's just like this. It's very natural. It feels very natural. I found them really good to use. The issue that I will point out to you guys with the Bose is with adjustment. As soon as you go to adjust it, because this plate is so big and it's sitting in your ear, you can't really hold it here without touching them. As soon as you touch this, even a tiny bit, it pauses it. Immediately, it just pauses it. That for me is very annoying. Whereas the Apple ones, I have never had that problem. You can just adjust them. The volume wouldn't change. It wouldn't pause the music and things like that. Now let's get on top of talking about them and their customizability. So the Apple ones, they do USB-C and ACC. These do aptX as well on top of that. But to take advantage of the aptX, you'll need to pair it up with Android. So the advantage of having the Apple AirPods is you'll have better functions when connected to an iPhone. But this one has better functions when connected to a Android. It has an app as well that lets you do a lot of things. So let's have a look at that app while I've got you guys here, because that is such a downfall for Apple. So I'll take them out so they think they're paired up. Okay, so the Apple ones, when they're paired up, they come into your settings. Okay, and settings wise, this was my main critique of the review that I did for the AirPods Pro the second generation, is because they had noise cancellation. That's it, transparency and off. And that was really annoying for me, because the noise cancellation wasn't noise cancellation. It was adaptive noise cancellation. It was like, oh, I think you should be doing this. I think you should be doing that. And what I found really annoying with that is, for example, I will use these when I'm at home. I've got kids, and for that purpose, I would need noise lowered. So I'll use these, but they would let all the children's noise in. So all the talking, yapping and all that, they'll come through fine, and I would find them useless. So that's great to see now that they've got adaptive separate to noise cancellation. You can name it. You can have different controls here. You can have different change controls here as well. Press once, press twice. What will it do? You can personalize the volume, conversation awareness, which is great to see. This is what I didn't have. So you can turn this off in my case, and you can like just do your thing. But this is when you are speaking. Now, automatic ear detection, spatial audio, that's another thing that I want to talk about and touch base with you guys. Spatial audio, I'll give hands down to Apple. Does it a lot better. It's been around a bit longer than the Bose one. It's a lot more refined. I'll get into the software bits for the Bose. There's quite a bit of critiquing. You've got optimized battery charging, which is what I like to see. You can have the mic control as well, and that's basically it. It's quite limiting. It's good to see a lot more being presented here, but it's still really quite limiting. Let's move on to Bose. So it's got a app called Bose Music app. Okay, so you've got your Bose here, it's connected. Okay, it shows it here. You've got a bit other settings, but you can go in here and you can, now this is another thing, Bose headphones don't remember the volume. They always go back to middle. So that, I feel sometimes that it's quite annoying, because I'll be in the night and I'll put these on, and I will forget to lower the volume, and they'll just go boom into my ears at half the volume, and it's not comfortable. I would like it somewhere here, and that's where I'd had it last time. I'll pull it out, put it into the case, put it back into my ears, and again it goes to somewhere in the middle. Now it's got modes. You can have a different mode, and what it does, it lets you have different noise cancellation according to it. Okay, so let's say relaxation. If you go into relaxation, it goes into your noise cancellation level. Okay, you can play around with it, which is fantastic to see. That's real control. I would love Apple to give us something like that, but it doesn't. It also has immersive audio, which is like spatial audio, and it gives you where the speaker is and where you're moving. Very gimmicky. I appreciate the Bose just came out. It hasn't had the time to refine it, but I'm getting sick of companies releasing stuff that aren't ready. So the iPhone's doing that, everyone's doing it, and I've had enough. Release it when you're ready. Don't release it based on a promise that something will get introduced later on. I find it very annoying. So get these headphones when all the features are on and all the firmware updates and bugs have happened, and by that time the price will drop as well. You know, so things like that you've got to consider. So that's the immersive audio source. You can have different sources connected to it. Now you can connect multiple devices to it. This is where it's annoying, okay? You cannot have two devices simultaneously connected to it, okay? So if I've connected it to my phone right now and I want to go onto the laptop, I need to go into the laptop and connect it to the laptop. That is very annoying. Even a lot of my other headphones, for example, the Sony ones, the small ones, you know, They have multiple devices, and whichever one plays it, and I can listen to it. At the same time, it gives you that. So that is very annoying. Equalizer is quite limiting, but better than nothing. So as you can see, it's just got bass, mid, tremble. That's it. Nothing too serious, better than nothing. So, and you can also have a shortcut as well. So on the left side, you can have the voice assistant come on, go through the immersive mode, or go switch through the modes that you have set up. So that's really nice to see. So that it gives you quite a bit of control, but in my opinion, not enough control that I like to see. What comes to mind with enough control is the Sony app. They give you such a good control. But I won't talk about Sony now because I've done that in the past where I've talked about another headphone in a verse and people getting excited in the comment section. If you're getting excited right now, please go ahead and put your excitement in the comment section. But that's basically it. Now, when I have tested them for the sound, which sounded better than the other, for me, because it's a very personalized test. So what I did was I used these and made a call to someone. Both of them, tested them, and I found the Apple one. I preferred the Apple one a lot better. Then what I did is I gave it to someone and I called them and heard them talk through these. In a windy environment, I've got some, in a new state and there's another house getting built, and I went right up next to them and called vice versa and did all that. I found the Apple one were better in my taste. What the Apple one does better is it suppresses, the suppression of noise cancellation is a lot higher than the Bose when it comes to noise, when it comes to the mics, when you're talking. However, it does sometimes struggle to keep your voice in as well. So it struggles with the muffling of your voice. But this feels to me is quite suppressed, your voice in there. So charging is basically the same. So as I said, it's a half an hour difference. They charge pretty good and they have pretty long battery life. The Bose, as you can see, is huge, would understandably have a higher battery life. When it comes to noise cancellation, like I said, I was very annoyed with Apple's take on the whole noise cancellation, but they have fixed it quite a bit where they let you have some say in your noise cancellation of the headphones. But having said that, Bose noise cancellation is class leading. It's one of the best out there. The comfort is best. So between these two, comfort, noise cancellation goes to Bose, hands down. Okay, Apple is not too far behind either. However, when it comes to sound, Apple is going to be the winner in terms of most pleasing to most people. Okay, it's got a very neutral sound profile and most people will be happy with it. They will like that and they'll appreciate it a lot better. At the same time, no equalizer. You can't do anything with Apple. That's Apple's Achilles heel that they don't want to fix, and they like it. Bose, on the other hand, gives you a bit of customization as I showed you through the app, but with the app comes the concern for privacy. They can pry your information, what you're listening to, what are you doing with it, so things like that. So you got to keep that in mind. It does give you another way to firmware upgrade these, and the firmware update came, I got them as soon as they were released. They got to me and I put them in and there was a firmware update, which is great to see, but also at the same time, like I said, finish the product. Don't send me out a product that's not good for use, you know? So, and I got to use it before the firmware update as well, and I'll talk to you about that in a second. So the Bose, regarding the sound, so the sound quality is a bit high on the higher end and on the bass. So very bassy and on the higher end quite high. However, you can mitigate that in the equalizer a bit. You can play with it, but that might not suit most people. So having said that, the sound is a bit targeted towards bassy stuff because that's where the crowd is going, I think, these days. Now, let's go to firmware. Bluetooth, okay? I was very annoyed that when I was using it without the firmware upgrade, I couldn't even leave my phone anywhere in the house. As soon as I left it and I would walk like 5 steps away, 6 steps away, I would have connection issues with it. Very annoying. So what happened then was the firmware upgrade happened, and now I can leave it a bit, but it's still not good enough. Most headphones, especially some of the bigger ones, the headphones, not the earbuds. Even the earbuds, because I've got a double story, they will struggle, but most of them, they can provide coverage anywhere around the house. This guy struggles everywhere. It's just pathetic in regards to range. So if you're the kind of person who leaves their phone in the gym bag and just walks around and does their weights, or leaves it in the gym bag and leaves it in a locker, yeah, this is not going to work for you. You're going to struggle with this. Maybe in a firmware upgrade they will fix all of this stuff, but for now I'm really disappointed in terms of that. I personally have a grudge against companies who don't release their products completely. And having said that, it's not like something that Bose is only doing it. Apple isn't. Apple does that with their iPhone all the time. They'll release an iPhone with these many features, but they will be coming later on with the software upgrades. Now let's look at price. The Apple ones you can get for $100 cheaper. Okay, and because they've been around for a bit longer, and since Apple isn't so stringent with their pricing anymore since Steve Jobs left the world, so you can find them a bit more cheaper than that. Okay, a bit cheaper than what they were supposed to be at. So they're $100 cheaper straight off the mark. Then you can find them cheaper because they're a bit older now as well. However, USB-C is quite new. So when it came out with USB-C, there's only a month difference. These boys are brand new. You would not be able to find it cheaper. Now, one last thing in regards to features I would like to add is for the Bose to have access to the full features available, it needs an Android phone, but not just any Android phone. You need an Android phone with the Snapdragon latest 888 chip, okay, 888 chip. If you don't have that or newer, the features won't work. So it's quite limiting in that sense. But if you upgrade your phone, you should be right. Let's get to verdict time. If you're looking for a pair of headphones that are super comfortable, that are very easy to use, have some teething issues now, you're willing to wait it out and get it later, I would seriously consider the Bose. But if you're looking for something that is neutral, you'll get it at a lot cheaper. You might get it at $150 cheaper. You know, I'm talking Aussie dollars. If you're new in this channel, I'm in Australia, so all my comparison is in Aussie dollars. I can't be sitting around and going, oh, this is what it costs me. This is my experience. This is my opinion. This is my review. So it has to be in Australian dollars. Please do take it with a salt of grain and see how you find them overseas. Some places you might find that the Apple ones, because of the prestige that Apple has, might be dearer. But in Australia, they're $100 cheaper. I got these for $330-ish, okay? So that's a lot cheaper than the $500 mark. And these were cheaper at $500. They were on sale. So looking at that, also the size, look at how tiny this is. This fits right into your pocket very easily. It'll work with your devices. You can have multi-point. This, if you've got more than 2 devices, trust me, this gets so tiring and annoying going into your settings and connecting to Bluetooth every single time you're going from one device to another. Another tiring thing was the sound. The volume, I mean by sound, the volume is very annoying as well. Every time the volume resets to 50%, and you gotta lower it every single time you pull it out of the case, no matter what you left it at. So those things are very annoying for me. Apple's Eco Garden locked in, can't do anything, can't have an equalizer, can't change anything about it. That's annoying about the Apple. But I'll leave you with that decision to make. That is my verdict for you guys. I've left it vague on purpose. Look at some of my older videos where I've been really vocal about my verdict. See which one you like. Sound out below which one will you go for. Which sort of verdict do you like? A bit vague like I've done today? Or do you like a more in-depth where I go, don't get this, get this? I will still do that if I feel like a headphone company is really letting you down with their service. But these guys are doing okay and I like them. All right, guys, thank you for watching it to the end. These two bad boys have cost me about $1,000, and if you appreciate that, that's out of my pocket. I'm just a normal guy just like you guys. I don't have a special account with Apple or Bose and things like that. I only get about $100 from YouTube in AdSense, and it'll take me a year to recoup what I've spent on these. And I've done numerous unboxing, and I get you guys a lot of other things. So if you appreciate that, a super thanks will really help out. Subscribe if you can't do that. Subscribe, like, and watch more videos, guys. The more videos you watch, the more you'll be helping this channel run. All right, guys, thank you for watching it to the end. I really appreciate it. Hope you enjoy your day. Take good care. Bye bye.